Hi guys, I'm live. Okay, let me type in the chat that I'm live really quick. Hold on, if my chat will work. I'm gonna try to do the chat over here on my iPad, so if you see me like looking over here crazy, that's what I'm doing. Good. Okay, if you guys can see and hear me, will you say something in the chat and let me know? Okay. Okay. And if you're watching the replay, just bear with me for a few minutes while I kind of get everything set up. Hey, Kelsey. Awesome. Okay. If you're watching the replay, just bear. Okay. Sorry, I had to check. Okay, so I have my iPad over here, and I'm going to try to keep up with the chat and kind of keep up with the live video, and hopefully we won't have any tech issues. Hey, Patricia, yay. Okay, so the last time I did a webinar, I lost my sound partway through, so hopefully that won't happen again. So I'm checking everything kind of behind the scenes over here on YouTube, so bear with me for a minute. It looks like it's kind of skipping a little bit. Hopefully it doesn't do that. Let's see. Okay. If it cuts in and out, guys, then I apologize. I've disconnected everything else from the Wi-Fi except my computer, so hopefully the signal will stay strong enough for us to kind of get through all of this today. All right, so I just want to welcome you to my launch party. I don't like have balloons or anything, but I have coffee, and I have my little koozie that my daughter made for me for Christmas to keep my coffee cold. So that's how I'm celebrating today, is with a second cup of coffee. So for those of you who don't know me, or those of you who are new to everything that I do, I'm Sammy. I'm the blogger behind A Sunny Side Up Life, and we are here today to celebrate the launch of my brand new budgeting course, Your Sunny Money Method. So I'm so excited that the launch day is finally here, and I'm so excited for all of the ladies who pre-ordered and got into the course today, and I was already getting so much great feedback, and ladies who were just telling me how excited they were to finally get in there and finally get their hands on all of the lessons. And I'm just like, oh, you guys have no idea. This is like another baby to me. So I've been working on this for several months. I've been working on it actually developmentally for like 4 months, but since like, I don't know, February, I guess, on the idea and how it would be set up and all of that you kind of have to do before you actually start creating things. So I am so excited. So I am going to do some giveaways here in a little bit. I'm going to give away some Starbucks gift cards, and I'm going to give away an Amazon gift card. So you have to be present to win, so hang out and listen to me ramble, and you might win a prize. So I hope that you guys kind of enjoy everything that I'm about to show you, and feel free to ask any questions. That's what we're here for. And feel free to interrupt me rambling if you have an important question. Okay, So I just want to tell you real quick just a little bit about my story for those of you who are maybe new, who haven't heard all of my story. So our budgeting journey started about 3 years ago. It's getting closer to 4 years now, I guess. Our middle daughter, Isabel, is 3.5. And so it really started when she was due to be born. You guys have probably heard me tell this story. I tell it I feel like I tell it every day. But my husband works offshore and he flies to the East Coast, and we live in Texas, so he has to fly to get back and forth to work. And it was time for her to be born, and we had scheduled an induced date because of his work schedule so we can make sure he wouldn't miss it. And he had to leave in the middle of his trip for that, so we were responsible for that flight. And it was kind of this moment where we didn't have the money available for the last minute flight, which was like an $800 or $900 flight, and we had to max out our last credit card that even had anything available on it, and we maxed it out like over $700 to buy him a flight to come home. And the craziest thing was that she was a very planned baby. Like, when I say very planned, like a year planned, and then the whole 9 months of her pregnancy. So we had nearly 2 years to prepare for her birth, and we still didn't have it together enough to save like $800 or $900, not even counting like all the hospital bills and like all the other things that we should have been saving for to prepare for her. So it was just kind of this rock bottom moment for us, and it kind of continued for like 9 months, where I was kind of in like that whole postpartum depression, and there was a lot of other things going on. I had just closed a business that was severely in debt and was not going good, and so I had all that depression and the postpartum and all that. So fast forward to her being like 9 months old, and I was finally like, this is ridiculous and I need to get my life together. And just one of those moments, like tears pouring and like Googling out of desperation to figure out like, what the heck do I do and how do I fix my life, because this is insane, and this is not what I signed up for in this adult life. So yeah, and then it took like another 3 months or so for me to be brave enough to add up our debt. And so it was just like this really terrible rock bottom that lasted like pretty much a year, and then even several months of hashing it out to like get my husband on board and like to figure out like what a good grocery budget was for us. And it was all these years of like so much work to get this budgeting thing figured out. So the reason why I created this course in the first place was basically for who I was those years ago. And one of the business coaches that I follow gave this advice one time to like how to find your ideal clients, and she was like, you don't need to find them, you are her. Like, your ideal client is who you were like 3 to 5 years ago, and if you talk to her, you will talk to your ideal people. And so that's just kind of what I've done, and that's where my heart is. And so my heart is just for all of you ladies out there who are where I used to be. And my heart goes out to you guys, because I know that it is so hard when you are in the thick of it. And I get emails every day that literally bring me to tears, because you guys, I so remember, and I just wanted someone to like be there with me through it. And so that's what I'm here for, and that's why I created this course, and I am so proud of it. And I don't think I've ever, like, other than my children, like ever made anything that I'm so proud of. So in a minute, I'm going to show you guys an inside look in the course. I'm going to do a screen share and just show you like my view of what it looks like after you purchase it and you enroll and everything, and what it looks like when you get in there. Yeah, Patricia says, I think it takes something extreme to get us to really focus on our budget. I know, and that's kind of sad that we as human beings, and I think as women especially, we are so stubborn that it's like we have to just seriously get punched in the face by life before we straighten up, before we get our act together. And that's kind of just the truth of the matter. So I'm going to give you guys an inside peek into the course in just a few minutes to kind of show you what it's all about and show you what all the ladies who pre-ordered are seeing today and what you'll see whenever you enroll in it. So basically, I just want to kind of give you a short description about the course. So the course is, my tagline for it is a simple approach to your family's budget. And I made sure to put the words simple and family in there because it is simple, and this isn't like a bunch of over your head stuff that you really don't need to know. This isn't like stock trading tips or like you know, things like that you really don't need to know right now. It might be something that you need to know in the future, but at the moment our goal is to get you set up, get you organized, get your spending under control, get some of your debt paid off, help you decide what your long-term goals are, and like all of that really basic stuff. So that's what this is. And this is like what to do before payday, on payday, after payday, and like how to do, what order to do things in, because that is like one of the biggest questions I get is what order do I do all this in, because you just feel like you're getting just like bombarded with all of this stuff and you don't really know where to start. So that's what this is all about. Okay, so before we go into the screen share and do the course, I want to give away 2 of the Starbucks gift cards. So I see that there are a few of you here live, and if you're not already logged into my little chat box here, go ahead and get logged in really quick. And I want you to just tell me hi, tell me like where you're from, something about you, like how many kids you have, or if you're married, if you're not married, like something about you. And then I'm going to pick 2 people in a little while to give away 2 Starbucks gift cards to. So go ahead and put that in the chat as I get into the screen share. And then I can go and pick those in just a little while. Okay, so let me remember how to get into screen share. Entire screen. Okay. Okay. Let me make sure it's working. Okay, you guys, I think there's like a really big delay, so bear with me for a second. Okay. Awesome. Okay, so here is the inside of the course. And this is what it's going to look like after you log in. So you'll see over here how much you've completed, and if you've ever done any Teachable course, this is through Teachable. It is the most simple course platform that I have seen, and so it's very, very user-friendly. Okay, so when you first come in here, there is a little welcome module here, and let's just go into this. Let's see if it will. Welcome. Okay, very awkwardly like start playing this video. Thank you. Okay, so in this welcome module, there's just a little welcome video and just links of where you can find me. And then it's very simple. You just come up here and you just click through. And I think all of these are gonna like autoplay. Hang on. I can turn off autoplay right here. Fun fact, you can turn off autoplay right here. Okay. So this is just like a little about me, so you can hear me just tell my story if you want to. And then you can even read more about my story. And so just little pictures of my family and my babies. This was on Junie's birthday at the zoo. You can tell her birthday attire here. These are my girls, Melanie and Izzy and June, my babies. My husband, our wedding day, and a current photo. Okay, so that's just about me and kind of my story and everything. I turned you off autoplay. Hang on. You guys, I don't know. Anyways, I'm just gonna have to hit pause every time, I guess. Okay, so that's just a little bit about the Facebook community, and if you aren't already a member in the Facebook community, there's a link here, and it's just telling you all about how great it is to have the support system and all of that fun stuff. This is an amazing thumbnail. Like, shout out to Teachable for these thumbnails. Okay, so this is just a little disclaimer video, and this is just kind of my pep talk about how, you know, the course is not a magic trick, and it'll only work if you work, and kind of that whole thing. Why is it locked? Hang on, y'all. What are you doing? It's telling me that I'm not enrolled in my own course. That's awesome. Okay. Now is it gonna work? Yes, now it's gonna work. Okay. And it's back on autoplay. Perfect. Okay. Okay, so here is the foundation module. Let me go back. Okay, here's the foundation module, and these are the first 10 lessons. Okay, so the first 10 lessons are basically the why, and they're walking you through all of the mindset stuff and like some of the biggest questions that I get. So you get, when you're too overwhelmed to start, these are mostly just little pep talks and kind of just encouragement. And when you're too overwhelmed to start, when you feel like you're too broke to budget, which is one that I get all the time, like our income is not X number of dollars, so we just feel like budgeting is not going to work for us. Let me just go into these really quick. Okay, so when you feel like you're too broke to budget, and these are actually just little videos. These first 10 are just videos. So we're just like hanging out in my office and just having a little pep talk. Super fun times. This one is shifting your mindset in lesson 3. Lesson 4 is why minimalism is important. If you guys are really familiar with my story, or if you heard my podcast interview on the Purposeful Home podcast with Allie and Kelsey, I talk a little bit about my journey with minimalism and how it really was kind of the jumping off point for my budgeting journey, and how I started with Ali Casaz's course. And so I kind of talk about that in this video and how the two really were intertwined for me. Lesson 5 is about making time for budgeting, and just kind of like that kick in the pants to like, you guys have got to make the time, and you know, that little pep talk that we all need. Lesson 6 is for couples and kind of what to do when your spouse is not on board, and just kind of how to budget together. And I actually took some notes from my husband and like asked him like, what should I put in this lesson? So number 7 is just kind of for parents and kind of the approach that we have taken with our girls, and just all that. Oh my gosh. You guys, my chat is frozen. Ugh. Sorry. I'm gonna not get distracted, but I'm still getting distracted. My chat is frozen. Okay, we'll do that in a minute. Anyways, lesson 8 is how to talk to your friends and family, and this is just kind of about like what to do when you don't have that great support system around you, and when it's awkward and like you don't know how to tell people that things are about to change and like all that stuff. Lesson 9 is why you buy things with time and not money. That's a really good lesson. Lesson 10 is the mindset behind becoming debt free, and just kind of the lessons that we learned, and about how when we very first started budgeting, our goal was to really like get our head above water. Our goal wasn't necessarily to become debt free. And just kind of like that mindset change that happened with us, and like why we ended up making that our goal to become debt free, and all the lessons that we learned in the process there. Okay, so then we go into the organization module here, and the organization module is 20 lessons plus the worksheets. And the organization module is basically the how to do. So we have 10 lessons of the why and 20 lessons of the how, which I feel like is a really good balance. And the how lessons are literally getting your hands on the worksheets, getting your hands on your budget, and literally walking through every single step of how to set it up. And so I designed these, and I put these in the order that I put them in very intentionally, and they changed order like a half a dozen times as I was writing this course, and you guys don't even want to see my notes because they are so scribbled on and scratched up for me changing the order of things, and really trying to make it in, my goal was to make it in the order of like if you and I were sitting down at the kitchen table, and which I've done in real life with like friends and family, of like setting up their budget and all of that. But like if we were like sitting at the kitchen table, drinking coffee, setting up your budget, where would we start and what would I say to you? And so that was kind of the mindset I went into with creating these lessons, and the order that I put them in, and the things that I say, and the things that I chose to say. And obviously I mean, this is 30 lessons. Like literally this is not every single thing that you can possibly say about budgeting, but this is what I thought was the most important things, the things that are going to get you to where you need to go, the things that are not going to waste your time, and all of that. So I put them in the order of like, where would we start if we were sitting down at the kitchen table drinking coffee? Where would we start? So we would start with the mindset, and I would say like, okay, what's going on? Why are you having negative thoughts about money? And what's holding you back? You know, do we need to talk about your husband? Do we need to talk about your family being a bad influence? Do we need to set your goals to become debt free? And then we would move on, and we would say, all right, let's grab the worksheets. Let's dig into this. And then we would start with, then we would go into the organization style. And this is basically, see if I can mute this, because that's really awkward to like play my own voice. Okay, so then we would like go into the organization style, which is basically, I start with debit cards versus cash, and like how to decide which one works for you, because some people thrive with a debit card and some people thrive with cash, and you know, it's not always the same, and the pros and cons of both, and how you decide which one works for you. And that basically telling you that there is no wrong answer, that it's basically just figuring out what works best for you. And then we would go to lesson 12, and we would talk about your financial priorities. And I give you this cute little printout that I made. And we talk about the order you should do things in, and how you should take care of your necessities first. And then you should establish your emergency fund. Then you should pay off your debt. Then you should save even more. Then you can have some fun. Then you can save for your future, and you can give to the people and the causes that you've wanted to give to. And that then you can chase all of your dreams, and you can do these wonderful things. And so that's what lesson 12 is all about, and just the order of those and a little bit more about each of those. And then I would tell you that you need to sit down and you need to set up a goals list. And let's see if it shows, like, have a dream date with your spouse. And I hope you guys can see this good, but this is how a lot of the slides are, is like these little worksheets, and then you can like see me typing them. And if you have a really small screen, it might be hard to kind of see that, but I would tell you to set up a goal sheet. And if you're married, to sit down with your spouse and do it, and decide like, what are your big picture dreams? What are your goals for your life? Yay, my chat is not locked anymore. Awesome. everybody. Okay, I can actually see all of your comments now. Yay. Okay, sorry. Easily distracted over here. Okay, so bills account, we would start with our bills, and in the overview of the bills, we just kind of talk about, you know, what's a bill, what's spending, because if you guys have read my blog about how I organize my bank accounts, I talk about how I have a bank account for bills and I have a bank account for spending, and then I also have separate savings. And so I just kind of talk about like the breakdown of that, how you decide what goes in bills, what goes in spending. That's a little confusing at first to people, so I really break that down. And then we talk about what to do before payday. If you guys are familiar with my worksheets, a lot of you already have some of my worksheets, either some of the free ones or the whole set. I do this here with an estimated column and an actual column, and that's really effective. And so in the estimated columns, we talk about planning ahead for payday. And then in the actual columns, we talk about like actually on payday, for sure, how much is your paycheck, for sure, how much are your bills. And so we kind of do both. And so I talk about, you know, all of that. And then the bills account, what to do actually on payday. And that's a very short lesson. Also, you can see here the time on these right here. This one's 8 minutes, this one's 2 minutes, this one's 6 minutes. So these are really designed for you to do them in your spare time. These aren't going to take a lot of time. There is, I'll show you in a minute, but there is a lesson that is pretty big, but you'll want that lesson to be pretty big. I'll show you that in a minute. Okay, so then we talk about spending, the overview of the spending, just kind of what the spending account is all about. And all these are the slides again. Welcome back. Okay. So all of these are slide lessons with me just talking. So you don't have to awkwardly like stare at my face the whole time I'm teaching you stuff. And you can take notes. And if you're a visual learner like me, these little slide notes are super beneficial. Or if you're an auditory learner, then you can listen. And so it's kind of the both. So spending, this is the breakdown. This is like the categories. This is deciding how much you should allow for each week and how much you should allow for each category, what your category should be, and all that good stuff. What to do on payday with your spending, and then what to do during your budget period, which is like between paydays, what you should do in your spending account. And lesson 21 is the savings with the emergency fund. And so this is that setting up that emergency fund. Welcome to how much your emergency fund should be, what to do if you have inconsistent income, how much you should save, which is a question I get a lot. A lot of people will say, you know, we live on commission or we're self-employed or whatever it is, and what should we do? Like, we're really scared. We have, you know, X number of dollars in savings. I know it's a really big savings account. How much of that should we save, and how much of that should we go ahead and throw at our debt? I get that question multiple times a week, so that's a good lesson to learn that one in. And just kind of the savings worksheet and all that fun stuff. A couple of these worksheets I updated for this, so if you already have purchased my whole set of worksheets, I'm going to be sending out an email for the updated version of them, and all the people who have already bought them will get the updated version. So in this lesson we talk about sinking fund, and this is one that this is an account, this is an account, a section of my budget that I did not have for a really long time, which is a sinking fund, which is basically preparing for those very like unexpected things. Okay, great, it popped right to the examples. That was lucky. Okay. So these are things, I hit pause on you. Okay. So these are things like holidays, birthdays, vacations, maintenance, registration, clothes, taxes, like all of those irregular things. And this sinking fund is for that, basically planning for those. And that's something that I didn't have for a long time. And then something comes up like Christmas and you're like, oh yeah, I forgot about Christmas. and like you're not prepared for it, or you have to buy new clothes and like you haven't budgeted in for something such a big expense. And if you guys, you know, if you have kids and you're buying everybody clothes, like we're a family of 5 now, and buying clothes for a family of 5 is not cheap. Even shopping great deals and all of that stuff, and even like using hand-me-downs. And so when it's time to buy new clothes, I'm so glad that I have that money set aside. Okay, so and now we get to the fun stuff, which is debt. Everybody loves talking about their debt, right? So the overview of the debt is here, and then we work through the payoff order. Let me see if I can go into this one really quick. Okay, so it talks about the different worksheets. Some of you probably have my free version of these debt worksheets already that I have. I think I have like some free downloads in some of the blogs for these free debt worksheets. So this is just kind of like digging into those and talking about the mindset behind going from smallest to largest balance, and why I do that, and how when we do this, we line up our debt from smallest to largest, and we pay off our debt in that order. And so what we do is we pay only the minimums on those larger debts, and we throw every single thing extra at the smallest debt until it's gone. So it talks about that and why I do that and why I recommend doing that. So this one is our debt timeline, and this is just kind of talking about like how long it's going to take you to pay off your debt and how to figure out how long it's going to take you to pay off your debt. And then I have a really good resource located in the bonuses here to kind of a good tool to have you figure out that calculator and everything. So this is a really fun lesson, and this is one of those bigger lessons. This one's almost 19 minutes, but this is one of those that you're going to be glad was 19 minutes, because this is about debt and staying motivated and using visuals. And if you guys have read the blog that I have called How to Stay Motivated While Paying Off Debt, this is basically like a deluxe version of that blog. So I took that blog and turned it into like a 19-minute lesson. So it's really good and really encouraging, and it talks about the different ways that you can stay motivated and the different visuals and all that fun stuff. And then you have some good resources down here where you can actually click these links and use these resources that I have linked here to help you. So these debt-free charts, and then my friend Ellie has these great bracelets, and so there's a link to them to like as kind of a tangible visual and all of that good stuff. So that's a really popular blog, so I think that'll be a really, really helpful lesson. Then savings and how we save for our next goal and what our next goal should be and where to put that money and all that fun stuff. Then we get to move on to our net worth and talk about that, and that's something that a lot of people really haven't worked on, so I'm really excited to kind of help you guys get in on what is your net worth and working on your assets, your liabilities, like how much you're actually worth, and kind of help some of you like who haven't done this at all, like don't even have a clue what your net worth is. Like that's going to be really exciting for you guys to dig into that and use that worksheet and everything. Okay, so this is that ginormous lesson that I was talking about. This lesson is 50 minutes. Like this is a big lesson. So I have it broken down into 2 videos. So part 1 is a 30-minute video, and then part 2 is a 19-minute video. So like if you have to stop and do them on separate days, or like you do one in the morning and the second one like at nap time or something, they're broken up here for you. So these are about cutting back, and this is probably going to be one of the most popular lessons because this is like one of the biggest questions. So the first lesson is about how to cut back your spending, and I give you, I don't know, like 30 or so tips on like how to cut back. Yeah, where's that? There's one more page of them. There's like so many, 34 tips on how to cut back your spending, and I dig into all of them, and then I give you some resources down here. There's not a resource for every single tip, but there are for some. And so this is like a friend of mine who has this meal planning guide. If that's something you want to work on, like you can click here and figure out how to do that. You can learn more about couponing. You can get linked to some of my favorite rebate sites, to the places that I shop online to get my clothes within my budget, and some other fun resources there. And so the second part of cutting back is some ideas on how to cut back in your bills and how to cut back with your debt. So that's why they're broken down. That's why you'll see this massive like 50-minute lesson, but it's actually broken down into 2 videos here. And then this lesson, it's not so big, it's only 17 minutes, but it is one of the bigger ones. And this is about increasing your income. And so I have a lot of really good ideas. And, you know, I talked to some of you guys about how you feel like you've just cut back everywhere that you possibly can, and like you don't know where else to cut back. So this is just kind of me helping you come up with some ideas of like how to increase your income, because there are only 2 things you can do. You can decrease your spending and decrease your bills, or you can increase your income. So cut back and increase. Like those are your only 2 choices. And a lot of people will do both. So these are a lot of good ideas of how to increase your income. And then I have a lot of really good resources. Like I'm really excited about these resources. So I have a recorded workshop in here from one of the workshops I did about flip your clutter into cash, and just kind of teaching you like how to sell your stuff to make money, and links to like eBay and Etsy and places that I recommend selling at. If you're interested in freelance writing, one of my friends has a free ebook on how to get into freelance writing, and she's actually working on a bigger paid product, and so I'll update that whenever she has her paid product in here, because it's going to be so good about teaching some of you guys how to freelance write and how to earn extra income. So I know that's already been helpful with some of you that I've shared that resource with. And then I get this question a lot too, of like, what if I want to start a blog, and you know, how to turn that into a business. And so I've included every single blog resource here that I use, what website I use, what email provider I use, where I make my graphics, and then all of the ladies that I've learned from about how to run a blog. So this is literally links to every single person that I have learned from blogging about. Okay, so that's lesson 30, and I want to show you the rest really quick. This lesson is just about what your next step is going to be. And some of you might know that I'm working on an advanced version already, and it's I pushed it back to the spring because I really want to make it really, really great for you guys. So look for it sometime in the spring. It's going to be really awesome, and basically what it's going to be is everything that's included in the basic version plus a maintenance module. So it's just going to be like the next step. And the really great thing about this is that it kind of almost allows you to do this in payment plan steps in a way, because this is going to be your next step. So if you're a student in the basic version, you're going to get a coupon code to upgrade to the advanced version for a very low price, basically like the difference of what the 2 courses are. So you can almost do them in like a, however much you pay for this course, like $40, $60, whatever price you get in at, and then you can go up to the next course for whatever the difference is. So whenever you're ready for it. So if the advanced version is like really overwhelming, this will allow people to start with the basic. And it's just going to talk about more of like specific topics and things that I just really didn't think were necessary in the basics. I wanted the basic version to be very simple, to not be overwhelming, to be the very, very like fundamental things. So in the advanced version, we'll talk about like meal planning, we'll talk about couponing, we'll talk about holidays, and like throwing birthday parties on a budget, because I'm like the pro at birthday parties on a budget. I can throw a Pinterest worthy birthday party for like under $100. So everyone like makes fun of my overdone birthday parties, but and we'll talk about like retirement and investing and like all of that. And I have some expert interviews planned for you guys for some of these people who are maybe a little bit more of an expert in these topics than I am, and I'm just so excited about that. Okay, so there are some bonuses in here. There's an interview that I did with my husband that was in my old course, And I'll probably update this if I can talk him into doing another video, which we'll see how that goes. It's just kind of his perspective and like what helped him overcome the stubbornness of not being on board and all that kind of stuff. And then you get that PDF here from those financial priorities, so you can print that out. And then I have a little tech tutorial here of how to use this website that is a really great calculator for figuring out your debt and figuring out your timeline. Okay, and then you might see right here, it says session 1. And what we're going to do for, I haven't really actually even advertised this, so this might be a surprise to some of you who have already purchased because I haven't really advertised this, is what we're going to do is some live group coaching. And so basically kind of like what we're doing right now with this Facebook, with this YouTube live, sorry, forgot where I was, YouTube live. And we're going to do like a YouTube live here in the group. It's going to be only for course students, and they're going to be scheduled so you can catch them live, or you can come back and watch them in your own time. And I'm going to have time for you guys to ask questions. And so like this is your group coaching. So it's going to be really super fun. I'm really, really excited to do that. And there will be more of these. This is just the first one that I've planned because y'all know you can't plan very far ahead with babies. Okay, and then there is access to all of my recorded workshops. So like this workshop, as soon as I get done with this launch party here, I'll put it right in here, and then you can go back and watch it whenever you want. So if you didn't get to watch these past workshops, you can go in and watch them, and you'll get all the future ones added there as well. Okay, so I want to go back and kind of show you the worksheets really quick. Yes, okay, Patricia's asking if I said the worksheets were available to use like a spreadsheet electronically. Yes, they are. And I will show you that. Christina. Okay, Christina, I'll answer your question in just a minute, because if I lose my train of thought, I probably will not get back my train of thought back. Okay, so these are the worksheets here. They're right up here at the top of the organization module. And there are blank versions here, and there are examples. And I have a little note here. If you have any trouble reading the, where I showed you where I have the worksheets where I fill them out like inside the lessons, and if you have like a low internet connection, or if you're watching them like on your phone or something small, you might have trouble kind of seeing those words. So I do have the examples here. So if you want to like print them out and follow along with the lessons, that might be more helpful, or you can like scribble on them or whatever. And then this little video here is to kind of teach you how to use Google Sheets. If you aren't familiar with it, it's a little tricky at first. So this is just kind of like how to manipulate through the Google Sheets and like edit the worksheets and really make them your own. And I had a question from one of my ladies the other day who was asking about making her budget unique, and that her family had a really unique situation. And so I was like, yeah, you can go in here and you can totally change these. These are just a template, and I'll show you real quick what they look like. Really quick, like this is really quick internet. There we go. Oh gosh. Okay, so what you can do here is you will get a copy of these, and so when you get a copy, you can rename them and you can totally do whatever you want, and nobody else is going to be able to see them. So you're getting a copy. I'm not going to be able to see how you edit them. So you can totally change every single thing here. If you don't like saying the word chart and you want to say like worksheet or whatever, you can change it. These are going to be yours. So you can go through here and you can totally make these your own. You can change my fonts, you can change the colors, you can do whatever you want. These are just like how I do them and how I recommend doing them. But obviously, like, feel free to make these work for you. And a lot of these are auto formatted, which is super fun. So you can come in here and you can do like, okay, this bill was $5. Like, I wish my bills were $5, but so if your bills are like $5, then they automatically will total to $10 right here for you, and that's so handy. Then you can come down here. Okay, your paycheck is like $2,000. Wouldn't that be nice if your paycheck was $2,000 and your bills were like only $10? That would be amazing. And then you could save all this money. But this automatically updates here for you. So it automatically puts in your paycheck, it automatically puts in your bills, and automatically tells you what's left over. And like obviously you have to buy food, so you have to like type that in here. So we're gonna spend like $500 on our spending, and then it will tell you what's left over. Isn't that magical? I'm so proud of it. So proud of these. Now y'all know why I'm so excited about these. Okay, so that's the bills, and then there's spending, and like your spending tracker, and how to, these are where you put your categories, and then your savings, and there's all these savings charts. There's sinking fund, and like how to break down your sinking fund. There's savings charts, and then there's your future savings. If you're like a planning nerd like me and you plan your budget like a year in advance, which I very guiltily do. And why is this here? Oh, it's supposed to be here. See, y'all, you can move everything. There you go. Okay, so here's your debt worksheets, and here's your debt timeline. Really handy, where you can like calculate ahead of time and how much you're going to pay per month and how long it'll take you to be debt free. And like this is your note where you can put, if I pay $100 extra or whatever, and you can like kind of do that note there. And then your net worth, your assets are on this side, and then your liabilities are on this side, and then you can figure up how much you're worth here. Then we have goals worksheet, where this is really simple, and like obviously you could just do this on like a page in your journal, but just kind of gives you that spot where you're prompted to make a date for your goal and write out how much your goal is going to cost you and that kind of stuff. And then you also have this really handy just blank calendar, where you can just come in here and like plug in the days and like change whatever month it is. And so that's really handy if you want to print that out and scribble all over it like I do. And then your account info, this is just where you can either keep it here on Google Sheets, or if you'd rather print it out and like hide it somewhere so everybody doesn't see your passwords, if you don't feel safe like putting that on Google Sheets. So this is where you can just kind of keep up with all that. You know, that crazy, like it's payday and I feel stressed out and oh my gosh, I can't remember my password. Like this page is a lifesaver for me because I can never remember my account info. Okay, so these are the worksheets, and you get all these worksheets, and you can come in here and you can change them and you can do whatever you want to them. Let's see, what else was on my... I told you guys all that. Yay. Okay, I'm going to try to get out of screen share. So be very patient. I did it. Okay, awesome. Okay, I'm going to check in with the comments. Okay. Oh my gosh. They're like, this comment box, y'all. Stop. Okay, now it's working. Okay, this is what I'm going to do. My comment box is like on the fritz here. Okay, I just screenshotted everybody's comments so I can see who wants to be entered in my Starbucks giveaway. Okay, let me go back to some of these questions really quick and just everything. Hey guys. Yay. Vancouver, Michigan. Okay. Kelsey. Hey, Kelsey. Kelsey is my cousin, y'all, and I love her so much. And she's so great and supportive. And Kelsey and I are going to work together soon because she has a really awesome blog that she just launched. And y'all are going to love her blog. And so, positively delighted, and she's amazing. So we're gonna work together soon, And Missouri, Washington, D.C. You guys are so awesome. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Yes, the debit card approach is so easy. Okay, so that's what we talk about in the course is like why some people benefit from debit cards and why some people benefit from cash. And it's just like, it's so different. And my sister and I were just talking about this the other night about how like some people, if they have cash, it hurts them to spend it. And other people, they just like, there's like no pain factor with their cash. And I just think that it's really a personality thing. So I'm not going to be mad at you if you do a debit card. I'm not going to be mad at you if you do cash. So we just talk about like why it works differently for different people because we're all different. So, okay, I can't see your name. I can see your picture though. How much money would you recommend leaving in the bank account for unexpected purchases, like ran out of milk, kid needs $5 for school money? Okay, so what I do is in my spending, that would be like in your spending bank account or your spending cash. What I do is I do a 6-week budget for my family because my husband's pay schedule is crazy because he works for 3 weeks and then he's off for 3 weeks. So we figured out that like a 6-week budget makes sense in that situation. So when I plan my spending, I plan 6 weeks in advance, which is like insane for a family. So I just do an extras category and it's basically like my miscellaneous, and I just kind of pick a number. And what I've done is like through trial and error, I've figured out like week 1 of our budget, we spend a lot of money because we're like, yay, it's payday. And then like week 4 and 5, he's at work. And so me and the kids just kind of stay home a little bit more. And so we don't really spend as much money. So like $20, $30, you know, whatever we have going on kind of works. So what I would do for that is I would like kind of just pick a number and see what works for you and kind of just become a student of your budget and like figure out how much you're like spending normally and just kind of do that. And also what helps is like tracking your spending. And so just paying attention to where your money's going. And it's going to help you like get a better idea. I'm sorry, I've taken like 2 drinks of coffee. So, so yeah, just really doing what works best for you. And definitely, I think leaving some extra money aside in your budget is really important, especially for kids, because it feels like things just always are coming up. Yes, I'm excited about the advanced version too. It's gonna be so awesome. Okay, so Christina's asking, do you do automatic payments for bills on a credit card? So I guess you're asking like when you pay your monthly payments on a credit card. I think that's what you're asking. Or are you asking like paying your bills with a credit card? I'm not sure. So if you're making payments towards your debt on your credit card, like it's one of your bills, then yeah, you can set that up on an automatic. But if it's like if it's your smallest debt and it's what you're focusing on at the moment, you might not want to because you're going to be like throwing extra at it. So you could do like that minimum and then just make an extra payment on top of that, like manually. But if you're asking about paying bills, I do have a lot of my bills set up on auto pay. Like my electric bill is on auto pay and I just kind of keep up with the due date. My insurance is on auto pay. Pretty much everything is on auto pay because it's just so much easier. And I used to not have that because God forbid a bill comes out and you're not like prepared for it. So yeah. Yes. Okay. So like your cell phone bill. Yeah. I have a lot of those on auto pay. But if you're very first starting and you feel really disorganized and you feel like money's just coming out from every direction, then you might want to just do manual pay for a little while so you feel like you're in control and you feel like your money isn't just disappearing out of your bank account. And if you have a bad habit of like not keeping up with the due dates and stuff, so that can work for you if you're really good about being on top of it and being organized. So that was something that I wasn't really good at in the beginning. Okay, so Okay, so what I'm gonna do, y'all, I'm sorry, but this chat is like kind of crazy. So I screenshotted all of your questions, and I'm gonna do this like pick winners for the Starbucks gift card later. I really didn't want to. I wanted to do it live, but it's like sometimes not letting me scroll on this chat and stuff. And I don't want to sit here for like 15 minutes while y'all watch me like try to figure out how to do that. Okay, so I'm gonna pick those as soon as we're done, and then I'll send you an email if you win the Starbucks. Let's do it like that. I'm really sorry. All right, so any other questions you guys have? I just kind of wanted to share some like words of encouragement with you, and I'm gonna bring up my notes so I don't forget. So I don't forget what I wanted to tell y'all, because I have a lot of things on my mind and a lot of things on my heart to share with y'all. Goodness. Yeah, so let me know if you have any more questions, and we're gonna do like just a regular Q&A in just a few minutes. Okay, so I hope that you guys enjoyed kind of the sneak peek into the course, and I was really excited to be able to show you guys. And in my emails and stuff, you guys might have seen where I thanks, Jessica, you're so sweet. You guys might have just seen like where I was talking about how I just wanted to kind of do this because I know that it's really scary to invest in something, and especially when you feel like you have made so many financial mistakes and you feel like you have done, you know, so many crazy things, and the last thing you want to do is spend money on something that you aren't sure about. And I just don't want you guys to feel like that, and I don't want you guys to feel like you don't know what you're getting yourselves into, and like, what if I'm just paying for something and I'm making another financial mistake? Like, that is not my goal here at all. And my goal is not to like trick you into spending money or anything like that. So I just wanted to do this, and I kind of wanted to just be an open book and show you guys like this is a great tool, and I'm so proud of it, and I put so much work into it, and I have really designed it specifically for you guys, and specifically for the overwhelmed woman, the overwhelmed wife, the overwhelmed mother, like wherever you are in your stage of life. If you're feeling overwhelmed and you're feeling like you're in financial survival mode, like, I made this for you. So there, I don't have anything to hide, and so I really just wanted to like let you guys in and show you everything and show you exactly what you're getting, and that I feel like it is more than worth the $47 investment. And I mean, it's 30 lessons, and there's bonus material, and there's group coaching, and like my one-on-one coaching is way more than that, and you're gonna get group coaching, which is like the next best thing, kind of less intimidating in a lot of cases. If you're like more of an introvert and more shy, like group coaching is your thing. So you guys, this is like totally worth way more than this, but I have been there, and I've been to the point where you're like, you don't even want to buy like an extra loaf of bread because you're like, that's $1, and I just like, I'll worry about that extra loaf of bread next week. Like, I can't even plan a week ahead right now, and I've totally been there. And so I don't want you guys to feel like you don't know what you're getting yourselves into when you do this. But I also don't want you guys to feel like you're doing this alone. And I totally remember those days of being like so alone and just crying and praying for help and wishing that I had someone to talk to, and wishing that I had someone to support me and encourage me. And I don't want you guys to feel like that, and that's why I do what I do, and that's why I do things like what I'm doing right now, and I spend time away from my kids. Like, my kids are at the park right now with my husband, and I'm skipping it because this is my heart too, and this is my heart to share this with you guys and to help you. And if I take a few hours out of my day and it's something that turns into potentially changing your entire life, like, that is so worth it to me. So that's why I do what I do, and I just don't want you guys to have to spend all of the years. And like I told you guys at the beginning of this, I spent literally a year from the time I had that rock bottom moment, like where my husband almost missed our daughter's birth, to adding up our debt. It was literally January to January, an entire year of like fumbling through this budget and like trying to get my mind right and trying to get all that figured out. Literally a year. And you know how much debt I could have paid off in a year? Well, for a good example, we added up our debt in January of 15. The years blur together, y'all. January of 15, and then Melanie was born in October of 15, and we had all of our small debt paid off by then, and we still had like one of our credit cards all was like $12,000, so we did not have that paid off. And we did not have like our real estate paid off, but we had several $1,000s worth of debt paid off, and we had her medical bills saved for. We had money saved so my husband could take off, I think, an extra like week and a half. Like, we had all that saved in that 10 months between when we added up our debt and when she was born. And so to think about what we were able to do in 10 months and what we could have done if we would have just started like when we very first added up our debt, that's insane to me. So I don't want you guys to waste time wondering how to do it and like fumbling through it and like all of that stuff. So I say all the time that this course is not a magic trick, but it is a shortcut, and it is a very simplified version of what I feel like is helpful and what I feel like is important. So if that's something that you're interested in, I really want you to join the course. And I'm going to look at my notes to make sure that there's nothing else that I forgot to tell you, because mom brain. Anyway, so one of the things that I ask a lot, and if you guys have went through my free course, you know that in lesson 1 I say, what's your why, and hit reply and tell me like why you're doing this. And those are my favorite. So if you guys have ever replied to those and I have written you back, like, those are my favorite and those are my heart, and I love reading those. And I cry like for almost every one of them because I just love helping you guys and hearing your stories. So the best thing that you can do, and the very first thing you can do, the very first actionable tip, the actionable step that you can take, is to figure out what your why is, to write it down, put it somewhere that you can remember it, and then focus on it, and focus on it every single day. And a really great quote I heard one time is that your why is what you weep for. And y'all know, like, if you're a mom, you probably cry like daily, like I do. But your why is what you weep for. So like, what breaks your heart? What is those moments where you're like, it's Christmas morning and you just wish that it could be better, and you wish that you could have given them everything their little heart desires, obviously within reason. We don't spoil our kids that much, but you know what I mean. You wish that you could buy them that new bike, and you wish that you could put them in the lessons, and you wish that you could help them through college, and you wish that your husband could retire at a decent age. You wish that you could retire. You wish that you could do a job that you love because you love it, not because of, you know, the financial responsibilities that you have and all these things. So what is your why? Like, what gets you out of bed in the morning, and what breaks your heart? That's your why, and that's why you're doing this. And so I want you to just focus on that and go with that, and remember that that is your ultimate why, and that's why you're doing everything that you're doing. So I just want to remind you that you owe it to yourself and you owe it to your family to take this next step. And I know that it is really scary, and I know that it's just hard asking for help, and it's hard like admitting that there's a problem and like all that kind of stuff, but I don't want you to have to do this alone. And I do provide so many free resources, and I have my blogs, I have my videos, I have my free course, I give away free worksheets, I do like Facebook lives, and I have my whole group, and there's so much stuff that you can do for free. And you can Google, and you can Pinterest, and you can hash this out by yourself. And that's what I did, and obviously it turned out, and I learned a lot of lessons, and I trialed and errored my way through it, and like almost 4 years later, here I am. But you guys, I don't want you to have to waste 4 years, and this is precious, precious time that we cannot get back, and these are days of our life. And so that's why I'm just so passionate about this. And if you're just ready to just stop messing around and do this, then I really think that you guys will benefit from this course. And it is only $47. I'm not gonna like be sneaky about what the price is or like try to tiptoe around it. It's $47, y'all. That's not that much. And for the benefit of what it's gonna do for your life, it's like the price of a dinner. Like if you guys go out to dinner and you try to feed a family of 5 or 6 or whatever, that's like it's not even the price of a dinner for something that's going to change your entire life. Like that's amazing. So I just wanted to end with, and then we can do an Amazon giveaway, and then we can do some Q&A. But my prayer today for you, and for always, because I always like pray for you guys because I love you guys, but my prayer for you is simply that you will feel worthy of the abundance that you are promised in your life. And I feel like we are all promised an abundant life, and we all have so much potential in us. And my prayer for you is that you will just simply feel worthy, and you will believe in yourself, and you will feel like you deserve all of the great things in the world, and you deserve everything that the universe and God and whatever you call it has to offer you. And I want you to know that your dreams matter, and what you have that desire to do matters. And the world that we live in, let's be honest, our dreams require money, and there's like no way around that. So if you want to open a business, that's money. And that's the money to start it. That's the money to save up to quit your current job. If you want to retire, that's money. If you want to send your kids to college, that's money. If you want to go on an awesome vacation, or you want to buy an RV so you can travel, whatever you want to do, all of that is money, you guys. And I know it's taboo to admit, but money is such a huge part of our life, and it allows us to do the things that matter most and spend time with the people that matter most, and to give the best life for the people that matter most, which are our families and ourselves, and to be able to help others. You guys know all these hurricanes and everything crazy that's been going on, and how much I would have loved to just like write like $100,000 check and just like, here for all those babies and just everything that's like going on. That just breaks my heart. And so that's one of my goals, is to be able to get to that point where I can just write a check and just help people who need help. Like, that's all money. So my prayer for you is that you will simply feel worthy of having that much of an amazing life, that you can do those things. So that's my ramble for today. So okay, so my chat is frozen again, so that's really nice. Okay, yay, you guys are signing up. I'm like getting emails over here on my iPad of everybody who is joining the course. I'm so excited. I do my Oprah voice when I get excited. I'm so excited. Okay. Yay. I'm just getting emails. Just gonna sit here and check my email notifications, y'all. Okay, so if y'all have any more questions, let me know. And if you're watching the replay, send me an email and let me know your questions, you guys, and let me know if you have any hesitations, if there's anything that you're like, I was wondering this and you didn't cover it, then let me know. And I will totally do that. I will totally let you know. I will write you back. Okay, so what I'm gonna do is, if you are still here, and it's not even telling me how many people are like in the chat. Okay, so if you are still here, I'm gonna do an Amazon giveaway, and I'm gonna give away a, thank you, you are so sweet. I'm going to give away a $20 Amazon gift card. Jessica, you're still here. Yay. Okay. I'm going to give away a $20 Amazon gift card. And I guess I will email it too. This is my first time like doing a giveaway live. Can you tell? I'm such a natural at it. Hey, Kelly. Okay, awesome. All right. So what I want you to do is tell me a book that you have wanted to read that you have not read in the comments. And I'm going to pick one person randomly to give a $20 Amazon gift card away to. I do kind of have a reason behind this. So my reason behind this is because I was just thinking the other day how I've been reading a lot of books lately, and I am loving that I'm able to like get into this season of reading more. And I was thinking about the time when we very first started our budget, and like I couldn't even budget in for books. And this are like obviously you can go to your library and get free books or whatever, but these are like brand new books like that our library doesn't have, and we live in a very small town, so it's not like our library has, you know, every single book. And so I'm obsessed with Laura Casey, and if you've ever read her books Make It Happen and Cultivate What Matters, they're amazing. And I was just thinking the other day how thankful I was that I had those books and how much they've changed my life. And I actually have Audible now, which is like a huge splurge, y'all, for me. I'm obsessed with Audible, and how many books I've been able to listen to on Audible, and just how grateful I am to finally be into this season of like being able to afford Audible. Like, that's amazing. And being able to like buy a new book when I want it. Like, that's awesome to me. So I want to give away a $20 Amazon gift card if you're in that season and like you just really want a new book and you can't buy it right now, because that totally sucks. Yeah, so let me know in the chat, and then I will pick somebody and I will send you an email if you win. So if there's any other questions, now is the time to ask. The minimalism book. Which minimalism book? Is it called the minimalism book, or is it a book about minimalism? Elizabeth Gilbert's creativity book, Big Magic. I've never heard of that. I'm trying to think of what book I want to read next. I haven't not read any books lately because I have been full speed creating this course. And yeah, this is like Katie, no time to read. Katie, that's why you get Audible. Goodness gracious, Katie, you know that. Katie, you act like you're busy. You just have 2 kids and like are doing your tutoring and stuff. Okay, Jessica says, is it okay to make your budget first before both you and your husband? Hard to tie us both together. Yes. Okay, so, yeah. Okay, so my husband, like, he was not on board with the budget at all, like, in the beginning. And he was like, you're crazy, and I work really hard, and I'm going to spend this money. And, so, and we're just naturally, like, I'm the nerd, and I literally have our budget planned out for, like, the next year, because his pay is so predictable. So I have the budget planned out for like the next year, and he is more of like he went grocery shopping yesterday, and he was like, how much do we have for groceries? Like, he doesn't know. He doesn't know. So yeah, I totally just make the budget, and then I just kind of keep him updated, and I'm just like, when we're eating or something, which is like a good time to get him to hold still, I'm like, this is our budget and this is what we're doing. You good? You good with it? And then we just kind of check in frequently and kind of have like an update on like, okay, when this happens, we'll have this much money, and then when we get to this day, like, this is how much we'll have in savings, and like kind of just give him an update. So no, we don't sit down like every single week and do our budget. I mean, obviously, like, he's not even home every single week. So we do, like, when he's at work, we do budget check-ins, like, over the phone and stuff. So no, you can do it and like keep him updated for sure. Patricia, yes. I'm so glad that you got Make It Happen. I did a giveaway not too long ago, and which one was that for? Was the giveaway was for my birthday? I can't remember. I did a giveaway for when the group hit 1,000, and then I did another giveaway for my birthday and like the anniversary of the blog. So one of those giveaways, I did the Make It Happen giveaway, and that is an amazing book. Kelsey says, there's no good card for this. Lessons on life through greeting cards. Oh, cute. Essentialism. Hey, Michelle. Randall book, The Whole Brain Child. I haven't heard of that either. Yes, you should totally read Cultivate also. It is so amazing. And the audio versions are so good. If you guys are like me and you just don't really have time to sit still, like the audio versions are amazing, and I love to listen to books. Like when I vacuum, I'll put my earbuds in, and when I do dishes and stuff, because I hate cleaning, and that kind of makes it a lot more enjoyable. Or I listen to it when I read. I mean, I listen to it when I read. I listen to it when I drive. Okay, yeah, it was the birthday giveaway. Yeah, I'm so excited that you won that. Yeah, Cultivate is good too, and like the audio version is amazing because she reads it herself, and just like, if you guys don't follow Laura Casey on Instagram, you have to follow her. She's amazing, and she will change your life. Awesome. Okay, so I'm going to do that. If there's any other questions, let me know, and I'm going to pick those winners as soon as we jump off here, and I will let you guys know. Thank you so much, everybody, for being here and for celebrating with me and hanging out with me and just kind of just doing this. I just was so excited, and I didn't want to just sit here by myself and be excited, so sit here with you guys and be excited. Okay. All right, so if there's no other questions, I'm going to go and do this giveaway and send you guys the replay link. So if you're watching the replay, reply to the replay email if you have any questions, and I will answer your questions. Jessica, thank you so much. So excited for the course. Numbers are not my thing. You make it seem attainable. You're welcome. I'm so excited, and I really hope that it helps you. Thank you, Katie, for being here. Katie, you're so sweet. Katie, I don't know if you know this, and I'm going to tell everyone publicly how much I adore you. Katie was my very first paying customer, my very first paying client, and she was the first person who bought my worksheets, and so that's why I'm obsessed with you, Katie, and your sweet babies. Yeah. All right. Thank you guys so much for hanging out. You guys are amazing, and I just appreciate your help, so your support and your help as I launch this, and just everything. You guys are amazing, and I'm so proud of you guys just for being here and just for signing up for this and just for taking an interest. And even if you decide to not do the course, I still love you and I still support you, and I'm still here for you. So even if you don't sign up for the course and you can't right now for whatever reason, there's no hard feelings at all. So feel free to send me an email, ask me questions, participate in the group, keep up with the blogs, follow me on Instagram so you can see all of my Insta stories and everything that I do. You can see my babies and all the behind the scenes of like my work, and you can know when I'm doing interviews before I do them. I have a podcast interview that came out today, and I'm going to send out social media links to that to let you guys go and listen to that, because I have so much awesome stuff going on. So thank you guys so much for hanging out. Email me if you have any questions, and I'm going to go, and tonight is date night. Celebrate the course launch. So I'm going to go, and I love you guys, and thank you so much for hanging out with me, and I will talk to you guys later. Bye.